Konnichiwa. This is your upperclassman, Michael Thrax Senpai, and I'm hosting the Neon Nightcast podcast school club. Yeah. Uh,
Otaku.
yeah. Tonight I'm joined with my friend Garrett Zagri Chan and my brother Eric Dr. Soybean Sama.
as I as I like to call you, the Radicus to my Phantom. And Dr.
Oh, I
Soybean
know
should
that
mention that he's feeling a bit under the weather this evening. So if you notice my voice sounds bizarre, well, now you know why.
So that was hard. I was trying to act really weeaboo-ish, but I couldn't. Trying to think of those
Yeah,
words on the spot, just could not do that.
could have been like Kuhn, like Eric Kuhn, something like that.
I was gonna call him Chan, but then I was like, he's not a girl. But then I don't even know.
You called me Chan.
See, okay, whatever. Anyways,
Well, in case you haven't noticed,
yeah,
tonight's
it's
topic is anime.
yeah.
Might be-
I was just gonna get into that.
Topic. What on this little rant we're going on?
Yeah, so yeah, we're talking about a little bit of anime. We've wanted to do episodes of the podcast about anime before, but we figured before we got into a specific anime that we just kind of talk about anime in general. So let's start off. Eric, tell us about how you got into anime and your first anime you watched.
Well, okay. I feel like your and my answer is going to be somewhat similar for this because we grew up together.
Somewhat.
Uh, Technically, the first anime we watched was Samurai Pizza Cats in the extremely early 1990s. Of course, back then we weren't even aware that that was an anime, or we didn't know it was Japanese. It was just a cartoon to us. So,
There was something
if you
odd
wanna,
about it, something different.
well, yeah, but we wouldn't have known. We were just little kids. So, the first anime that we knew was Japanese and knew what anime was would have been the dub of Sailor Moon in the mid to late 90s that we started
Briefly,
watching.
wasn't there the first season of Dragon Ball? Didn't we see that before?
We saw that probably prior to Sailor Moon. You're right. You're correct. But that would have been another one where I don't think we were aware at the time that it was Japanese.
Oh, okay.
So what got me into anime was the original, the dub of Sailor Moon, and that led to us getting into Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and there's a lot more to that which I want to get into. But first let's hear from you and Garrett as to how you got into it.
You
Well,
go, Garrett.
I got into it. I think the first one I watched was probably Dragon Ball. I think I don't know. I probably didn't know it was Japanese at the time. But that was, I was pretty young whenever Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were on Cartoon Network and shit, because those were dubbed and everything. But the first anime that I remember watching after I'd grown up a little bit was this one called Claymore, where it's these 26 chicks. It's just a female organization. They just go around and kill monsters and stuff. It's really good. I liked it, and then after that, I got more into different animes.
Yeah. I basically everything Eric said, but yeah, Dragon Ball. It was kind of it's just kind of everyone was into Dragon Ball, the dub. So Dragon Ball Z, sorry, and that's just kind of why I got in or into that. Uh, but the first anime that I sat down and I watched the sub, and that's really what got me into just watching anime in general, was Full Metal Alchemist, the original series.
But that wouldn't have been the first sub you watched, because
Well, no, it's not the first sub.
yeah,
The first sub that I
because
watched was me and Eric. Uh,
yeah,
Eric found a site or multiple sites or whatever where he bought
okay, base, yeah,
VHS tapes of Dragon Ball Z subbed.
Right. So basically, like we should go back and explain. Like we're talking about very early 2000s, late 90s.
YouTube didn't
So
exist.
YouTube didn't
MySpace didn't
exist.
exist.
You know,
Fucking MySpace.
YouTube didn't exist. Streaming didn't exist. DVD was out, but it was, not a lot of anime subs were yet being released on DVD. So basically, what people would do is fans would subtitle anime and put it on VHS tapes, all done by fans, and then you could buy it through the internet, and they would send it to your house, and you could watch it in your fucking VCR. But the thing is because a lot of these tapes were copies of copies of copies, is often you would get this episode and it would be almost unwatchable with like all the fuzz on the screen and shit
Yeah,
like that.
it's like
But
fifth
that's
generation tapes.
but yeah, but back then if you wanted to watch uncensored subtitled Dragon Ball Z, that's what you had to fucking do.
Yeah,
So we watched pretty much the entire series of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z when the dub was still in the Frieza saga.
yeah. Like we were done
And
with the series, like, and Goku was going like Super Saiyan, and we were like, oh, that's funny.
and see the thing like we should also touch on real quickly is this was right around the time, late 90s, early 2000s, that anime first started to become a, a popular thing. And back then anime was pretty gauche. Like I'm going to assume Garrett
What is
just
gauche?
well like kind of like I don't know, uncool. Let's should we just say
Yeah,
that?
really
Like
uncool.
I wouldn't say it's cool now, but like Garrett, just from the age that you are, I'm going to assume when you were in high school, if somebody liked like I'm not talking about being a total weeb, but if somebody liked a couple of anime, that was not seen as something that was, made them a loser. Am I correct?
I mean, I don't. I'm not sure you could say they were a loser. I feel like because I grew up in a small town, so I feel like everyone that well, I say that, but I feel like all the guys at least had watched Dragon Ball Z.
Well,
Right.
I
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is like you were allowed to like that, but if you were like talking about like the Pokemon anime
Yeah.
after the initial Pokemon Gold Rush was over, yeah, you were a nerd.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess like if you got into like some serious animes, like just watching subbed basically, then yeah, I guess. But no one did that. I mean,
Right.
I don't know anyone that did that anyway.
Yeah, but I'm sure it was probably much more socially acceptable than it was in my day. Because, like, to give an example of just what I'm talking, that illustrates what I'm talking about. Back in the year 2000, when I was 14, I went to my first anime convention, which was Anime North here in Toronto. It's the biggest anime convention in Canada, third or fourth biggest in North America, something like that. So I looked it up before we did this video, and the the most recent year that they have the attendance statistics online was 2015, and in 2015, 30,000 people went to this thing. When I went there in 2000, 1,000 people went to this thing. So in 15 years, a 30 times increase
Yeah.
in the number of people that would go to an anime convention. So I don't know. We really just we were kind of there, like all this fan sub shit going to Anime North back in the day. That was kind of right at the beginning of the anime explosion, and now we're at the point where I don't know. Pretty much everybody that's within our age range, all of us, probably at least would like one or two animes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think it's for sure. It's definitely not as. I think it's still like nerdy, right? Like everyone's seen cringe
I mean,
comps and
because I
stuff.
feel like anime, anime is the gateway drug to weeaboo.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, there's definitely a fine line. You can watch anime and definitely not be a weeaboo,
yeah.
but
I
you
love
can't be a
I love
weeaboo
my
and not watch anime.
animes, but I don't think I've ever come close to being a weeaboo.
You don't
Well,
have body pillows of your favorite Sailor Moon?
I think the most weeaboo-ish thing I have, and it's just like literally all my tattoos are from anime. But people
well, that's
that don't,
pretty fucking out there.
yeah, but I don't know. I've
You should
had
clarify.
one
You should
person.
clarify. It's not like you have. You don't have like Kanata from Lucky Star on your fucking back. It's nothing that obvious. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, no. I just have. I don't want to really get into it, but I just have like,
It's nothing that you would
yeah,
know is from an anime unless you knew what it was referencing.
yeah. It's not like no, yeah. I don't have like an anime girl fucking on my leg or anything.
Well, real quick, because you brought it up, my favorite weeaboo cringe story was my ex-girlfriend actually had a cousin, female cousin, that was really, really into anime, huge weeaboo, and she was hanging out with her and her equally weeaboo friends. And the friends would actually do that thing in conversation where if they wanted to act like they were embarrassed, they would like put their hand behind their head and like scratch it with their eyes closed. Do you know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, like the
Really?
Sailor Moon thing.
Yeah, and
Did
like
they did they add blush to their face while they were doing this to make their cheeks rosy?
Yeah.
they might as well have. And apparently, in texts, if they were like embarrassed or something, they would write like sweat drops.
Yeah, that's pretty out there. That's pretty cringy.
I feel like that's a norm though. Like for like nervous or like embarrassed people write sweat drops though. Like today.
Well, they would write the
I've
word
never,
sweat.
I've never.
Oh, they would write the word.
Yeah.
So I was thinking emoji.
No.
No, no, not
This
emoji.
is,
Yeah.
this is before
Yeah.
emojis existed.
Yeah, I forgot you two are fucking dinosaurs. So
Well, no, this wasn't that long ago. This was maybe 5 years ago, but
Ugh.
still,
yeah.
emojis are, I guess, pretty new. But
So
anyways, let's not get sidetracked.
back. Yeah, I wanted to bring it back to the sub tapes we had. Those used to get me in a lot of shit at school because like back in the day, like kids would be like, oh, like Dragon Ball AF is a thing, and Goku goes Super Saiyan 6 in it, and he has white hair, and I'd be like, those are not real. Like I've seen the entire series, and like after Cell, it's Boo, and they'd be like, "What are you talking about? You're an idiot." And I'd be like, "Do you want to come over and like see my tapes?" And basically, like kids would go around and just lie about, like I remember people telling me lies about like Final Fantasy VII and Dragon Ball, and that's all the ones I really remember. But anyways, but this was one of these things where like I knew what I was talking about. I had proof, but I can't. I wasn't gonna bring these like $50 VHS tapes to fucking school or anything, and like I was like you're lying, and they're like, no, you're lying. It's just really frustrating.
I heard that after the Cell Saga, Goku was dead, right? So Goku ghost fucked Chi Chi, and that's where Goten came from.
No, he fucked her in the week of rest before the Cell game. There's actually a comic where he like nails her in the bathtub, and well, I have said too much, but
Such a badge. Oh man, the Boo. The best part of the Boo saga is when Goku fights Majin Vegeta. I'm just gonna say that right there. I don't want to get
That's
too into Dragon Ball because we're gonna have an episode on that soon.
right. Well, let's
alright,
bring it
yeah, I'll
around
just skip it.
to the main event there, Mike.
The main event. You want to just
You just want
you want to get
Eric?
you.
Eric, you need to dip your toes in first.
This guy just
Well,
wants to jump
tickle
right
my
in.
balls with the
This
facts.
guy wants to get right in. He is so gung ho to talk about anime. So I'm gonna let you go first. Then
Oh,
we've brought to the table, to the podcast table, three animes that are our favorite or whatever each. So we have 9 shows. We're gonna talk about Erico number 1.
all right. Well, since we've already been talking about it, it's only appropriate that I say my first number one is Dragon Ball, and by that I mean Dragon Ball, the original fucking series, not Z, not GT, Super
The one where you see
original.
Goku's
Blasphemy.
nuts.
You do see
Blasphemy.
Goku's nuts an awful lot.
Yeah, but
I'll
you
give
also
you
see
that.
like Bulma naked.
You do. You see those.
Mm.
Let's not go down that road, but yeah, she's pretty thick in the original.
Like THICC?
Yeah, she does. She's got like nice thick
Like the
thighs.
100 emoji.
Yeah.
Thick AF. See, lately, I've really been liking going like really up to my mic and just going, when
Don't. That sounds fucking disturbing.
we're talking about girls. It's like the guy in the theater when he was watching the Avengers.
Yeah, okay. Well, you brought that up. Now I have to tell the story.
No,
Yeah,
you already told it.
I never told that story on this channel.
Yes.
I did not.
Yes, you
All right,
did.
well, either tell it or don't.
So a buddy of mine was in theater watching the Avengers, and anytime Black Widow's ass was visible on
Yeah,
screen,
you did tell that.
I did tell
remember
that story.
this story.
Anytime she was visible on screen, the guy in the thing would go, mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
let's
I didn't. I
continue
didn't
with your
remember
Dragon
telling
Ball.
that. Anyways,
Yeah, we're getting
yeah,
way off
original
track.
Dragon Ball. So I guess I like it better than Z because yeah, they did have energy beams and stuff like that, but it was more just martial arts. I felt like the fights were overall better because it was more of a focus on things like skills and technique than just who had the bigger power level or who was going to pull a transformation out of their ass. There was more of an adventure element to it.
Yeah, for
instead
sure.
of just fighting. There was more of a comedy element to it. Just a lot more going on. I liked a lot of the characters better.
See,
So
Z?
yeah, I don't know. I know Garrett. Correct. You. I don't think you've seen. Have you seen much of the original?
I've seen quite a bit. I feel. I don't know. You can quiz me.
Z
Well, like what?
has had some funny moments, but I was gonna say that Dragon Ball, even in like dire situations, he'd like put in jokes.
Yeah. Well, like what did you two think about it?
I like
'Cause I
Dragon Ball a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a good anime.
I
Definitely.
think I like Z more, but like Dragon Ball, yeah, it's see Dragon Ball is like kind of feels like more what One Piece kind of used to be, and now One Piece is becoming more like Z. But
Mhm.
like one of my favorite villains in Dragon Ball was Tao Pai Pai,
Yeah.
just because of the fact that like to get around, he would like throw a stone pillar or like a log or something, and then jump on it, and then I would
And
just
just
like
ride it.
sail through the fucking air.
It's ridiculous, but hilarious.
So good,
Uh, so yeah, that'd be my number one.
Garrett.
My number one has got to be Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm.
So, like,
Original or Brotherhood?
they're both good, but I think Brotherhood is mm, my the one I liked more. Do you disagree?
Dude, it's so hard to say which one's better, dude, because I think I'd go with the original, even though I think Brotherhood is like a better structurally made show. But maybe just because like I saw the original first.
Yeah, I saw the original first too, and then I saw Brotherhood. And I don't know, I just like Brotherhood. It was well done. I mean, because Full Metal Alchemist was the second anime I ever watched subbed.
Yeah,
And I don't know, it just has a great story. Like I feel
it
so
does.
bad for Ed all the fucking
Well,
time,
you
man.
would as a. Oh wait, I'm thinking of
No,
Alphonse.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
Alphonse
as
is
the
really bad.
younger brother.
But I mean, they both like I feel so bad for both of them because Ed like he's trying so hard because he takes all the blame on
Yep.
himself. Like he's like, oh, this is all my fucking fault. I gotta get Alphonse's body back.
Well,
If I can get my own body back, that's fine. But I've got to get Al back. That's the only thing that's keeping Ed going is like he's got to get his brother back. He knows he fucked up. I've got. He's like,
Well,
he's got to
yeah,
fix it.
it's so heavy, dude. Like they're children.
Yeah, they're
They're
fucking like
children.
he's
So
like
Eric,
14.
Eric. So what happened was their mother died, and they're like kids. They're like 8 and 5, and
Mhm.
they gather all the ingredients that goes into a human body, and they tried to reanimate or use their alchemy to remake their mother.
That's
And
heavy shit.
basically, so what happens is you got to pay a price. And what they didn't think of was the human soul. So there's this thing, whatever, and it takes away basically Alphonse's body. It takes all of him away, and it takes away the older brother Ed's arm and leg, and then he's able to make a blood seal on some armor to get his brother's soul back, and so on and so forth. And like, yeah, they're like these kids just trying to get like their bodies back.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, because whatever they tried to get their mom back, but they didn't have the soul. Like that was the ingredient they were missing.
Right.
So in alchemy, there's the equivalent exchange. You give what you take, basically, and they were trying to take a soul without giving one. So then in alchemy, it was trying to take Alphonse's soul, I guess.
Hmm.
But uh, yeah, dude, it's a fucking heavy
See,
show, but it's so fucking good.
I've been thinking, and I like the original more because it's more in detail of
Okay,
the
does the
little
original have
things.
Scar? The original is the one with Scar,
Yeah, the
right?
original has Scar, and
Okay,
Scar's a
yeah,
big
okay, I
part
lied.
in
The
it.
original is the one I like
Yeah,
more. Sorry, I
in
am
in
confused.
the remake Brotherhood, Scar is not that big of a deal, but it has my favorite character in both the series, the Asian Prince guy. But he's not in the
Asian
first one.
Prince.
The guy that turns to greed in Brotherhood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but
I
so in the
mean,
original show, there's two parts that really stand out to me, and it's the guy Tucker turning his daughter into a chimera.
that one was so
That was
fucking
fucked.
fucked up. That
But
was so
another
fucked
thing
up.
that was overlooked in Brotherhood is the first time Ed kills someone. Keep in
Yeah,
mind
he's like
he's
vomiting.
14. Yeah, he's like, what did I
He
do? And they're like, well, he
yeah,
was trying to kill you. You did the right thing. But he's still like, who am I to take a life?
yeah, because it was like a murderer that he killed.
Yeah,
Like he didn't like. It's not like
he
he just
killed. Yeah, he killed a
killed
serial
some
killer.
innocent. Like yeah, he killed a serial killer, but he felt so bad about it. Like he was
Yeah,
just vomiting and like crying. Like it was yeah.
and
It's
that's a part that they left out of Brotherhood that I just that's what
yeah.
made the original so good. So my favorite of all time, number one super fun time anime is, and I'm gonna say it wrong, but Gurren Lagann. Uh, holy shit, I've have so many emotions for that show.
Try try and contain yourself though, because you can ramble on about this show for half an hour.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm
try
not
and
gonna. It basically, it's
Let me
just
get the timer out.
yeah.
it is a show. If you want to boil it down, it's a coming of age story. It's about a boy.
Who likes dick?
No, he. God, I don't want to really get into the plot or anything. It's just
Hey, well, tell us something about it. I
okay.
don't
So
know
it's
anything
about this
about it.
kid, Simone, and he lives underground with his quote unquote older brother. They're blood brothers. They're not actual brothers. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about. Kamina is this really charismatic leader guy, and he's like no, like there is a world outside of this cave. We just have to get out there, and he's always telling Simone that he's gonna be the one. And I don't know. I don't want to get too into it because I could basically just explain anything. But anyways, um, they get outside, and then there's these beast men that drive these mechs that
Well, and you should mention the fact they've been underground their entire lives at this
yes,
Yeah.
humanity's been underground forever. These beast men kill humans, so they're like, we have to go kill these beast men. And through the travels, Kamina, something happens to him, and then Simone's all fucked up. But then he meets a girl, and that's his new inspiration.
Yoko.
No,
Oh, that's not who you're talking about?
no, 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 no.
All right, never mind.
So then there's a 7 year time gap, and then Simone's a man, and his wife or his new fiance gets taken from him, and basically humanity, those beastmen were on Earth to keep the population of humanity low because like there's this alien consciousness that wants that sees like this power, the spiral energy that they call it in the show, inside humanity. And basically, they made a deal with humans that if they just kept the population low, that they could live still. But they're like, no, you fucked up. There's too many of you. We're gonna come kill you. So then they go and they go fight them and finish them off. And it's just such an inspirational story. Um, there's God, I don't know. I
And
started
also,
the first time I watched it. I had just been dumped by a girl that was kind of my first real big um, relationship, first serious one, and I just binged watched it in like one night. And there's just like the episode 25. There's one part where I just fucking cried like a little bitch, man. It's just such a good show. I don't know what else to say.
well,
You
also
should
it
need you
has
need to watch it.
Yoko, one of the hottest anime girls
Mm.
ever. And Dr. Soybean, I mentioned at the beginning of this episode that I got kind of a cold tonight, and Yoko must have one hell of a cold because her chest is all swollen up.
What are you talking about?
All
No,
right.
that was a good way to end my incoherent ramblings about Gurren Lagann because holy
I
fuck.
didn't understand a thing you said that.
No, like that's the thing is like that show, dude. You just gotta watch it because like it doesn't. You can't explain it to someone. You just
I
gotta.
watched like 6 episodes and I couldn't get into it.
You were so close. You were so close to like
Takes all kinds.
the good parts. Well, all of it is good. Anyways, Doctor Soybean. Let's go. Number two.
All right, number two is one that you and me, going back probably about a year ago now, we watched it together at the same time. Like not in the same room, but we were both watching it at the same time. Garrett, I don't believe, has seen it, but it's a much newer anime called Amagi Brilliant Park.
Oh,
And I suppose what?
it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you would probably call it a slice of life anime.
It is a slice of life.
Yeah, which I normally don't have any interest at all
Nope.
in at all. But this one, just the characters and the sense of humor that the show has and the story of it, absolutely beautiful. Animation is completely beautiful. Uh, they kept it short. It's only 13, 14 episodes, which I think helps it because they told their story and then they got the fuck out of there. It's basically a self centered high school student uh, who his alluring, attractive new classmate forces him to come with her to this amusement park in the town they live in. And it's
He's
a
like the
park that
chosen one, right?
yeah, well, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I just want to give Garrett and the audience the gist of it. So basically, it's a park that he enjoyed as a kid. The park is now failing. If they don't meet their quota for this year, the park's going to get shut down. So basically, every episode of the show is some plan that this guy and the girl have to bring in more visitors and make more money for the park.
You
And
left
of course,
out the part that like
and
the 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 part that the park is like their life force, and so like all these like little mascot animals and stuff. They're like fairies and stuff.
yeah, like the mascots aren't people in costumes. They're like magical beings and they'll die if the park closes down.
Yeah.
And
Is there a hot chick
Oh my
Oh,
god.
there's like
There's so
5 hot
many.
chicks.
It's
I
so
have a
good.
suggestion. Just get a brothel. Put a brothel in the park.
Well,
They
actually,
probably could
one
have.
of his one of his first jobs to
Yeah.
make money for the park is he gets all the hot chicks in like in bikinis to like film a commercial for it. So
So
and
good.
they're all like titties bouncing around and stuff, and just ooh, they're sweet little pieces of ass. But
Oh my god,
it's such a
Eric, why? Why do you talk like this? So weird.
Oh shit! Yo, what's what weeaboo
I'm
there?
fucking around with people.
Eric was the guy in the theaters at the Avengers, man.
No, I wouldn't have done a thing. I do this for this show. I don't do this in my
Oh, you're
actual
hamming it up, eh?
serious life. Well, aren't we all?
I love that phrase, hamming it up.
Hamming it
I would
up.
I would hope half the shit you've said here is not accurate to your actual life.
Well,
but
I'm-
anyways,
I speak only the truth.
but anyways, it's a really funny, entertaining show.
No,
and
it actually is fucking
it's
hilarious.
so good, right?
It's so good. It's funny. You don't really learn anything, I guess, but it's just funny and entertaining. I was gonna like, because like a lot of these
fucking what is this? Reading Rainbow?
no, a lot of not only anime, but a lot of stories, especially shorter stories, just have like a purpose, like what they're supposed to teach you or something. Like Gurren Lagann is basically just being like,
So now I'm
you can
I'm
be
picturing you-
whatever you want to be.
Now I'm picturing
Yeah,
you like
but-
holding up an anime DVD and like talking to the camera about what it taught you, and then the music's like, "Da-dam-dam," we throw it back to LeVar Burton. But anyways, that's my number 2.
But yeah, no, but Moggy Brilliant Park, he doesn't really learn anything. I guess he became less of an asshole. I like how in that show, I forget his name, but it roughly translates to Kanye West, and the writer is like a fan of Kanye West. I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I looked it up, and all the main characters, Seiya Kanye name originates from Kanye West. Isuzu Sinto name
50 Cent,
originates
yeah.
from 50 Cent, and Latifah Floranza, Queen Latifah. So
Well, that
Wow,
show,
yeah, okay.
that guy clearly loves Western pop culture.
Yeah,
Because there's another part where the mascot has a band and it's basically Kiss, and then like one of the
yeah,
security guards,
yeah.
one of the security guards for the park is like a Mexican luchador wrestler. So the guy clearly loves Western entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, great
Number
show, you should
2,
watch it.
Mr. Zagri.
all right, my second one, and I'm not doing any of these in any particular order. I'm not doing these favorite to least. I'm just saying them because
So
you
go
guys
for it,
both
son.
said. Well, I'm just saying you guys both said your favorite was your first one.
No, I didn't mean it that way.
I wasn't doing that. I didn't want to do that either, but then that's what it seemed what we were going in. So Gurren Lagann is my favorite, but the other two I just want to talk about because I want to talk about.
All right. Well, anyway, my second one is Hunter x Hunter.
Mm.
The show.
Gon-sama.
Hey, shut up. All right. The show stars a young boy named Gon Freaks, who all he wants is a daddy in his life, but his daddy left him when he was born, and now he's on a journey through life searching for his daddy. But anyway, basically that is kind of the plot of the story.
Well, he wants to become a hunter, right?
Yeah, because well, his dad became so there's this organization around the world called the Hunter Organization, I guess. And they only take like the most powerful, strongest warriors. And Gon's dad left Gon as a baby to go basically be a hunter, and Gon's dad, Jing, I think is his name, became like the youngest hunter to ever pass the hunter exam.
Yeah.
So
I remember that
Gon-
from the 6 episodes I watched.
Yeah, so Gon basically wants to do exactly what his dad did. Basically follow in his dad's footsteps, be the youngest person to ever pass the hunter examination.
Yeah.
And like the hunter examination is no joke. Like, there's some serious shit that goes on. People can even like people die during the hunter examination. Like, whenever Gon did it, there was like hundreds of contestants and only like 8 finished,
Yeah.
which is actually a super high amount of people to like pass.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
But
that
anyway,
that
go ahead.
show, I wanted to get into it, but I can't
Um,
get into another long lasting anime.
See, yeah, it is a really long anime, and I would say the first arc is the slowest. It's the hunter exam arc, and I want to say that's the slowest. All the other ones are really good because it's like they add new elements to the show. Like there's
Yeah.
this one, like the energy they use is called Nen, and everyone has like their own. It's like ki, their energy.
Or
Everyone has like
chakra.
yeah, everyone has their own Nen ability. Like Goins is like a rock paper scissors where he like puts his fist back and does rock paper scissors. If he does rock, it's like a super hard punch. If he does scissors, it's like a sword. And
Really?
yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. I don't think I've ever seen him do paper. I don't know.
He's such a weirdo because like I was watching it, he was using like a fishing rod, and I was like, I don't know if I can
Oh
watch
yeah, yeah. He
this.
only uses the fishing rod like the first arc.
Okay.
Afterwards, yeah, he doesn't. But yeah, it's got really good characters on it too. One of my favorites is Killua, whatever, however you say his name. He's the same age as Gon, basically, but he's from a family of assassins, and they're very scary,
Ooh.
very, that they can like kill anyone, basically.
Well, that's what
But
assassins do.
well, yeah, but low, like, I mean, you could be a shitty assassin.
Yeah.
Killua's family is not shitty
Was he
assassins.
was he the guy that was like, all my friends are dead? I need to kill this guy.
Oh no, that's Kurapika, I
Krapka.
think. Kurapika.
He was like the little kid that almost looked like a girl, and he was wearing a dress.
Yeah, yeah, that's Kurapika.
Okay.
They actually make jokes about that. Like that's a good observation. They actually make jokes about Kurapika being a girl, but he's actually a guy.
Oh.
But
So
yeah, Hunter x Hunter, great anime, very
yeah,
good.
maybe one day I'll try to
You
watch
should
it
you should
again.
definitely watch it. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's one I have. I mean, I've heard the name of it before, but I've never seen anything of it. Like, never watched an episode, never saw anything about it. So I guess it probably wasn't that popular, eh, Garrett?
I don't know how popular it was actually.
It is well liked. I know it had like a break. Like they stopped making episodes and then it came back.
Right.
So it had like controversy or something with it.
In 2001, the staff of the magazine listed Hunter x Hunter. Oh wait, there was a magazine that listed Hunter x Hunter as the 94th most important anime of all time. So
Fuck.
Well, when you
I guess
consider
that's
all the
pretty impressive,
I mean,
but
well, when you
that's
consider all the
that's a
animes,
shit ton
that's
of yeah.
well. What's
yeah.
number one? Find
I
out
don't
number
know.
one.
I fucking a. All right.
While I talk about my
Yeah,
number
go.
two
Because
thing.
I'm just gonna ignore you anyway.
Yeah. So I'll just bring up I'm bringing up two for my
Can
number
I
two.
guess? Can I guess?
Sure.
Lucky Star and Fruits Basket.
I was gonna say that One Piece and something
Yeah,
else.
Eric's being a retard.
Well, I was being a fuckhead.
Sorry, yeah,
Oh.
not a yeah. Um, yeah. The reason why I don't couldn't get into Hunter x Hunter is because Naruto and One Piece. Uh, these are shows. Naruto recently ended, and now it's Baruto or whatever. I'm not watching it, but these are animes that have been going on forever. There was a time in my life where
You were one of those kids who ran like Naruto.
no, I watched I was catching up to One Piece, and it was like fuck, like 5 or 6 years of watching that show almost every day, at least one episode. And I thought I was never gonna catch up to it, but one day there was just no more episodes to watch, and I was very upset. I've been taking a break from One Piece for a
You've got a
while.
backlog now.
Oh, I got a big backlog, and I've actually really been missing it, so I'm gonna start watching it again pretty
And
soon.
that's one of the reasons. This was like 2 years ago when you came over one time and you're like, you got to check out One Piece, and we watched like the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy it. I mean, I thought it was a good show. I found it entertaining. But you're like, yeah, man, you should get into it. It's on like episode 700 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And honestly, the idea of getting into something where I'd have to catch up with 700 episodes, I was like, nah, I can't do
Well,
this.
that's okay. The thing is like the newer seasons I've just not really been enjoying. But fuck, man, like
I mean, that's how
to
things go, though. Usually, you like them at the beginning, but as time goes on, they always get worse.
up until
Yeah,
up
that's what.
until the fifth season, I think the fifth story arc. It's so good, and that's basically what anyone needs to watch. Kinda, if you don't want to watch all of it, is up to CP9 or whatever the hell that story arc was called, Water 7 or something. But like the first stuff that you watched, the buggy fight,
Mm,
so good, and the fights after it, amazing. They basically just meeting the rest of the main characters, and then they fight Arlong, and it's just such a good show. Naruto, fuck man, that I love that show, but it's a mess. It's a mess. Um, I guess mostly what I want to talk about is One Piece because okay, that was good. So one of my complaints with One Piece is so in this universe they have devil fruits, and basically every devil fruit is uh put
a unique ability or power.
yeah, like so Luffy, the main character, has eaten the rubber fruit, and then there's a guy that ate the T Rex fruit. So Luffy, his body is just made out of rubber, where this T Rex guy, he can just transform into a T Rex.
Seems
So,
pretty useful.
so they all have different things, and there's like different types. There's three different types, and I'm not gonna name them because I forget them. Uh, but it's like transformation, physical, and then like a beam energy kind of thing. Like there's a guy that has like a beam that he can like slow down time, who is ever like getting hit by the beam. So the first half of the show, everyone is super unique within their abilities and powers and stuff because okay, your three main fighters are Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy. Luffy's made out of rubber. Zoro uses three swords. Sanji only uses his legs. And they're just going up against like all these people with all these wacky abilities. But now in current One Piece, everyone just uses haki, and it's basically like they make their skin really tough. And
See, it's kind of like why I like Dragon Ball better than Dragon Ball Z.
exactly, yeah. It's just like everyone uses haki now, and it's just I just find it really stale. Sure, they use it kind of in different ways, but it's still just the same thing. Like
Right.
Luffy covers his fists in the haki, and Zoro covers his sword in the haki, and it just like kind of ruined the show for me. Uh, okay, but let's just move on to number three.
Okay. So my number three, I'm going with a classic. This is a really old anime from the 80s, I believe,
Ew.
called
80s.
Urusei,
La Blue
aka
Girl,
the greatest decade ever.
La Blue Girl.
80s was
Um,
the shittiest decade ever. The only thing that
no,
came out,
we're
the only good thing
we're
came out of
living
80s was some music.
we're living in the shittiest decade ever, brother. You better believe that.
Okay, but your number one
Alright.
anime is La Blue Girl, right?
No, bondage fairies. No, actually, it's Urusei Yatsura, which
Fuck is
is
wrong with you, Eric?
which is, I guess, a comedy anime, and it's basically one of the things I like about it is the main character, and I'm probably gonna fuck up his name, Arturo or Artro, something like that. Um, he's a lecherous, stupid asshole, but he's chosen in the first episode. Basically, there's a bunch of aliens who want to invade Earth, and he's chosen to represent Earth in a game. And if he beats them, he saves the Earth. If they beat him, they can take over Earth. Uh, and the game is basically tag. So he faces off against the daughter of the aliens, which is this like super hot chick Lum, and he manages to beat her by ripping off her bikini top, and she covers her tits, and then
This
can't
is
like
just
protect
right
herself.
up your alley, dude.
Yeah.
And so then he wins, and so then basically she falls in love with him, and the rest of the series is her living on Earth with him, and just them doing various comedic adventures together.
See,
And
that's
she's
a
like,
slice of life,
and
and like you
and
love
she's
slice of life.
but she's like really like cute and naive about like the ways of Earth, and he's like this lecherous
It's
asshole
still a slice of
I
life.
who's
mean,
Like,
yeah,
do they
it sounds
fight?
like a
Does Lum
life.
fight things?
yeah, Lum can like shoot electricity at
Yeah, but like, does it
electricity.
have like villains and like they're fighting and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounding
It is.
pretty slice of lifey to me.
Well, maybe. Well, so fuck me. Maybe I like certain slice of life animes, but
You just like slice of life in general.
it's
That's
a
what
good.
it sounds like.
It was a good
It
show.
was a good show.
I'm not saying it's not a good show. I'm just saying you said you didn't like slice of life typically, but I'm starting to feel you do like slice.
Yeah, I
Goddamn,
just don't. I
slice
just
of
don't
life.
think you've put that much thought into it, my friend.
Well, maybe I do. But anyways, I like I like Urusei Yatsura.
I remember.
it's an endearing series, and
The only thing I remember about that show was being like, or I don't know. We had the comics, being like
we did.
young and like just oh, all these feelings because of the girl on the cover, but
Yep.
also
All these feelings.
a
You need a boner in your
child
pants.
got like 50 yen and they thought it was a large amount and they were like, oh, I can't, like, I feel so special or some shit.
No, it was
That's the
Lum.
only thing I
Yeah,
remember.
it was Lum's little like alien baby cousin,
Yeah.
and because Arturo was such an asshole, he got like a job clearing snow, but he was lazy and didn't want to do it. So he convinced the baby to do it for like the equivalent of like 5 cents. But because it's like a baby, he's all like, "Wow, all this is for me," and he's just like, "Yeah, just keep doing it."
That's so cute.
But yeah,
Um,
anyways, Garrett.
all right, my third
G-Rod.
one. My jeez, this is like top two animes for me. Digimon. Metal
Digimonsters?
Gururumon. Yeah,
Digimon are the
Digimon
champions?
Monsters.
Change
Digimon
into
are the
digital.
champions. Nah, I'm joking. It's not Digimon.
Oh. I was trying to. I was trying to.
I thought you were serious.
I was trying to sing talk the theme song, but then I quickly remembered I don't know the song. So go on.
My the one I was actually gonna say. It's a good one. I wouldn't say it's like super favorite of mine, but Fate Zero. It's
That's one I've
about.
never seen.
It's one. Sorry.
I've sorry. I've never seen that.
See, it's got a weird storyline where like, so these all these people are trying to fight for this Holy Grail because, like, once you get the Holy Grail, you can get a wish granted,
Like a genie
and
wish.
yeah, I guess. Um, but like to get the Holy Grail, there's a human character who summons like a heroic spirit, I think is what they're called. And so
Mm,
these heroic spirits, like some of these heroic spirits are Alexander the Great. Another one is King Arthur.
Jesus.
Um, although Jesus is not involved
Damn.
because he's not heroic. He just
Damn.
dies.
Well, he made the ultimate heroic sacrifice, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah, we can talk about Jesus Christ on a different podcast. But anyway, yeah. So like these humans, they have, but to summon these guys, you have to have a relic of them. So like, if you want to summon King Arthur, you have to have like something he touched or something. But there's a twist about King Arthur. King Arthur is actually a female. Whoa! Yeah, it's really cool.
No, they
What?
didn't.
No.
They did. They fucking did.
I,
Yeah,
I
it's
I almost spat out my
Played by
water
Amy
there.
Schumer or something like that.
Amy
to pander to the-
Schumer. Is okay? Is Fate Zero? Is that the one with Saber?
yeah, Saber. That's King Arthur.
Oh. Oh.
Yep. It's a pretty good show. I watched. So there's two different ones. There's Fate Zero, which is the one I watched, and there's Fate Stay Night. I haven't watched that one yet. It's on my list. So, but yeah, pretty good. I think mostly I like it for another reason. I like Hunter x Hunter. All these characters have like different abilities, and I
Mm.
always love finding out what different abilities each character
That's
has.
You'd probably like
we
One
all seem to
Piece,
be in
dude.
agreement about that.
Yeah.
You'd probably like One Piece then, because like everyone is so ridiculously different from
Yeah, I
everyone
remember
else.
watching. Yeah, I remember watching a couple episodes of One Piece, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I might actually. Fuck, I don't want to watch that many episodes. So
Dude, come on.
I don't.
See,
I,
Oh
that's the
my
that's why
god,
thing.
I
if you
don't
got
want to
into
make a
One Piece, I
commitment.
would be so happy.
I
I
don't want to
can't
make a
deal with
commitment
that
like
backlog
that.
though.
Yeah,
I know,
I
but
can't. That's the fucking thing for me
it's
too.
so good. Like when there's a rubber man fighting a leopard man, it's just so entertaining.
I mean, nah. I have to get like 600 episodes in
Well,
before I get there.
one
No,
thing
that's only
good you
that's
can
not that
say.
far in.
One thing you can say about Luffy is he's always prepared. You're never gonna catch that guy. You're never gonna catch that guy without a rubber. Huh?
I knew where you were going with
This is where the studio audience just goes, oh.
it. They just groaned.
Yeah.
All right, Michael.
So,
What is
yeah, I
yours?
guess I had a hard time thinking about a third one because there's just so many good anime. But one that I guess we'll briefly talk about because I really like it a lot is Samurai Champloo. Uh,
I've seen that one.
yeah, it's great. It's uh, made by the same people that made Cowboy Bebop, and Cowboy Bebop is a western
Oh
mixed
God.
with a sci-fi. And Samurai Champloo, it's like hip hop mixed with samurais, and it's about two complete opposites. So the one samurai is very traditional, very skilled, um, and the other one is very loud and wild and a berserker, and they are basically just want to fight each other because they're just badasses and like no one can stop them, but they can't kill each other. And there's this girl that suckers them into trying to find her father or the samurai that smells like sunflowers. And it mostly
Oh, fuck.
what
That just sounded really weird. Go on.
It
what
is. It
what
does
was
sound weird,
what
though.
was what's weird about that?
The
The
samurai.
samurai that smells like sunflowers. You don't think that
Yeah.
sounds weird out of context? Like you wouldn't
Oh,
go.
that. Oh, I thought you meant like the setup of the story, all of it.
Ah.
No.
So it does like follow the story. Like they will talk about like they'll meet someone new in the episode and they'll point them in like the right direction at the end of the episode kind of thing. But most of the show, it's like 26 episodes, is just kind of like getting to know these characters. And there are just really like the final 3 episodes are just like the important like finding him and stuff like that, and then it just ends. It has a very anticlimactic ending, honestly. But
Well, were
that's
they?
that's the point, though. It's about the journey. It's just about enjoying watching these three characters because they're
I thought
all
maybe
just
they
super
were.
interesting.
I thought maybe you were gonna say they were intending to come back for a second season or something like that, but they didn't.
No, like I don't want to spoil it or anything, but like literally, it's like the job's done, and I guess the two samurais respect each other at the end. So they just like they all look at each other, and they're just like, Okay, see ya. And they just all like take different paths down a road, and that's just
Aww.
it. Yo, it's so sad because you're like, the journey, man. It was so epic. They had such good times. Like,
It's not about the journey; it's about the destination.
no, see, that show's about the journey.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a bullshit quote. So
Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's just a fucking fantastic show, man. Mugen. You're either
Mugen.
see that's the other thing, Eric. When you watch if you watch the show, you're either a Jin fan, he's like the traditional, or you're a Mugen fan, and that's like the berserker.
Yeah,
So,
Mike's
so
a
it's
fucking
like
Mugen, and I'm a Jin. So
I am
it's
completely a Mugen.
so it's like everybody's either likes Ginger or Marianne. There's nobody who likes both.
Yeah,
It's like
or
Ginger
it's
or
like
Marianne, Betty or Veronica.
Goku or
Um,
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Goku.
Vegeta all the way,
Vegeta's
man.
so overrated. Every
See,
like
they say stuff about Vegeta. Like people will be like, "Oh, like Vegeta's like cunning and like planning," and it's like, when does he ever do that? Like, what are
my
you
main thing about
talking
Vegeta does
about?
Vegeta.
do that.
Yeah, but Vegeta.
Okay, so I've been watching Dragon Ball Super, and okay, so
Maybe in
Goku goes
Super
in.
they're more fleshed
Goku
out.
goes in with no fucking plan, all the fucking time. No fucking plan. Vegeta goes in. He tries to analyze a little bit more than Goku does. He doesn't fucking go in head
The
first.
only part in Z that Vegeta tries to like do anything is the Frieza saga.
Well, my main thing with Vegeta is that he talks such a big game, and
Oh,
then he
because
gets
he
his
gets his
ass kicked
ass
like
handed to
90%
him.
of the fucking
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
He gets the
Yeah,
shit on.
because the writers fucking write it that way.
Okay,
It's not
okay,
Vegeta's fault.
okay.
If Vegeta had his way, he'd be fucking training all the time.
One of my
He'd
favorite
fucking
parts.
be the greatest Saiyan ever.
One of my favorite
I hate
parts
you guys.
is movie 5 when Vegeta is like literally shitting himself and crying because Brawly is kicking everyone's
That's movie
ass.
8. But yeah.
Oh, movie 8, sorry. And Piccolo grabs him by the hair and drags him to the fight.
Yeah, I don't know why he was such a bitch in that movie.
Yeah.
That was weird.
So,
See, like I think Vegeta gets a bad rap because they write him like that. It's not his fault, guys. It's
well,
not his fault.
but he's a fictional character, so the way he's written is who he is.
See, I think in Dragon Ball Super, he's pretty fucking badass actually.
Okay. I need
Like
to watch
him
Super.
in terms of power levels, him and Goku.
They're
They, well, they
equals in
were
that show.
they were for a while
But
pretty
now
equal,
Goku's
but
more.
I think Goku's
Because he
taking the lead again.
goes Kaioken God, right?
He goes KO King God, which is like fucking
That's like
powerful.
that's so sick. I need to watch Super because they're doing so much cool stuff with it. But
Yeah,
quickly, just
pretty good.
back to Samurai Champloo. The real like one of the main reasons why I would want anyone to watch it is just to know if they were a fan of Jin or Mugen. Like it's just because it's just really interesting. I think it just says a lot about the person or whatever. Because in that show, they did like their opposites just so well. Like they are actual complete opposites. And that's just the last thing I wanted to say about Samurai Champloo. So we're coming up, yeah, close to an hour. So I guess we should call it, boys.
Only if you want to. We can go on forever.
Well,
And
apparently
ever.
we could fucking go on for
I mean, like
all night,
we
but
we didn't even scratch the surface on a lot of
see,
these animes.
and this
like,
is this is why we did this episode, just to kind of give a brief look into
because
our opinions on anime.
I could talk about the Dragon Ball universe forever.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for when we do the Dragon
Yeah,
Ball
we're gonna get
episodes.
a
Gonna have
good
to do
episode of that.
for
sure.
2 episodes.
Oh, it's we
wait for a
we already
part
got
1
it.
and part 2, listeners, for Dragon Ball.
So yeah, there wasn't that much banter, just because like it was just one of these topics that
We got a lot.
all of us could just go on all night about any of those shows. So hey, fuck it. I hope you liked it.
Wahoo!
You know, go look at your favorite anime girl and
and blow a load for
I don't
us.
know. Yeah,
Think
blow
about
load,
us.
like make her your waifu or some shit, some weeaboo shit. I don't know. I know I'm gonna be going to bed thinking about.
Yoko.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sure.
Let's
Mm. Yeah. I'm probably gonna edit this out.